Altona School again on Ohio Valley Ranch. And right now, we are filming water. This is actually water from an irrigation ditch that's right near the schoolhouse. Why would we film water? Why do we have water right here on our movie about Altona Schoolhouse? Well, water near a school was super important. Now nowadays, probably you get your water at school from a drinking fountain. You can get water to wash your hands from a sink. But there weren't indoor bathrooms at Altona School. Well, it was a school from the 1880s to the 1940s. So they had to make do with water being near the school. Every morning, and if they ran out midday or afternoon, children would have to go outside and get a bucket of water from a nearby creek or stream, or perhaps like this, an irrigation ditch. At Altona Schoolhouse, they actually went across the road to get the water from Left-Hand Creek. But we're showing this irrigation ditch now in modern times because it's a little hard to go across the road and do that on private property. And so it was important to get your water, your bucket of water, to use as your drinking fountain, to use as washing up water, and that kind of thing. Now maybe some schools didn't have to get their water from a running water like this, from a creek or a stream. Maybe some schools would have a well near the school, and they would pull a bucket of water up and down in the well to get their water for the school day. Maybe other schools would have a pump at their schoolhouse right outside that went down into a well so they could pump water into a bucket to use it for their daily use at school. No matter what, as we know, water is an important thing for us to have. Also, if students rode horses to school as the way they got to school, their horses would need water to drink while the students were in the schoolhouse all day long. So getting water here would be important for having something cool for the horses to drink as well throughout the school day. Now, let me show you their drinking fountain in the old-fashioned days in a one-room school. Remember, we were talking about how students at a one-room school in the old-fashioned days, like Altona School, would get water to use throughout the school day, since they didn't have drinking fountains or sinks or indoor plumbing in their schools just yet. Well, a super important part of that would be a bucket. And you can see my bucket like this, and that would be something that the students would get the water in to use as their drinking fountain throughout the day. Now, a lot of times they would have the boys go and get the water because supposedly the boys were stronger and were better able to carry water. Who knows? I think girls could have done it too, but whatever, that's how they did it. But anyway, I also have here, besides my bucket, an 8-pound weight from modern times now. See, there's an 8 there. Why do you think I have that, along with the bucket and along with the idea of carrying water? Well, a gallon of water weighs 8 pounds. So this bucket, gosh, I think maybe it could hold maybe 2 gallons. So that would be 16 pounds for you to carry from wherever the water was that you had to get the water out of to your schoolhouse. So something to think about. Also, how would you drink that water when you got it into the school? Well, in old-fashioned times, very old-fashioned times, you would have a dipper like this. And you would just dip the water into the, dipper into the bucket of water and just drink out of it. And now everybody would share this dipper. This was your drinking fountain. So can you imagine colds and flus and things like that could get spread pretty easily from student to student. Kind of germy and yucky, but they didn't know any different. That's just how it was, and that was all they could spare to use as their drinking fountain. Now later on in time, maybe each student would have a tin cup like this that they could use. Now this one's pretty rusty, so we'd hope that theirs was brand new and shiny to use. And that way they could dip their tin cup into the bucket of water and use it to drink. Or better yet, and less germy yet, they'd have that old dipper all cleaned up, dip it into the water, fill their tin cup up, and then drink. Less germs and newer ways of thinking about sanitation and health all the time. Thank you.